I have a feeling we'll see Morpheus.
Morpheus?
What, the black guy from The Matrix?
No.
That's what I was thinking too.
Project Morpheus.
I really imagined him appearing at Sony. Wearing the
I'd be like,
trench
what if
coat,
I
shades.
told you?
What if I told you? Hey everybody, this is TMG Podcast. This is episode 31. This is Carlos, and with me as well.
And we're late. What's up, everybody?
We're late. And Miggy's with us as well.
Hey guys.
There. It's May 9. It's a Friday. Sorry, we have more Nintendo news. That's it.
It's not sorry. It's not all bad. It's not
Yeah.
all bad Nintendo news. There's some good stuff, too. A couple trailers came out that we're kind of excited about.
Yeah, but this is a podcast all about video games, so it's not going to be all Nintendo. We have something for Sony fans. We also have some announcements from other previous games, like there could be a new Pokemon. Oh, but then again, it's also Nintendo news. We have something for Unreal. Gear. What's the developers? A new Unreal tournament's gonna happen for sure. WildStar Open Beta has started. Sunset Overdrive, we actually have footage of that, so we'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah. And we're gonna start a little bit of our E3 talk, like slowly as we go through May. But first, who wants to go through impressions first?
I finished Lost Planet 3. And it's not too bad. As I mentioned last week, I didn't find it too terrible. It was just very formulaic and didn't take too many risks in the the third person shooter formula.
Is that Capcom shitting on the franchise?
No, not really. I actually felt the story was decent. And it was a little bit more coherent than Lost Planet 2, or even Lost Planet 1. Like, the story made a lot more sense to me.
I don't remember a story from Lost Planet 2. It was more like...
fair enough, they weren't particularly memorable.
Yeah. I don't even remember a face in Lost Planet 2, actually. Like a face, an actual face. Because they're all in helmets and stuff. Is it worth suggesting, though? Or like just we go back...
I would say you get it if it's on sale. If you can get less than $5, $10, it might be worth it. It's fun.
$10? Wow. It came out last
year. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's worth like a full premium price there. What else have I been playing? I'm still playing Layton, Professor Layton in the Aslan Legacy. So nothing really new there. Just more puzzles. It's getting tough. My brain hurts.
I haven't played a single...
I've been actually like playing it with my girlfriend, who's a lot better at these sort of things than me, and she's even getting stuck. So we're at points where that at some point like you're not getting any more picker rats from doing a puzzle over and over again. So we'll just literally like close the DS and restart it, so it resets.
That's what I do in every Layton game.
Okay.
Is it that hard? Because I've never played a Layton game at all. I have not touched a Layton or even a Phoenix.
Some of the puzzles are pretty straightforward, and some of them are pretty tough.
Most of them are brain teasers, though.
And it's a mixture of... What kind of puzzles are we talking about? Because I have no picture whatsoever of Professor Layton.
I have 5 matchsticks.
It's a whole mix. There could be mathematical puzzles. There can be like...
Oh, God, really? It really tests your brain.
Yeah, there could be ones of just like move the squares around the picture, yeah.
That again, it actually sounds fun. If it's like that many, like it's a variety.
It's a huge variety, and I think it frames these puzzles in a way that you don't really mind going through them. Like I remember before there was that brain training game for the DS.
Brain Age?
Yeah, I think Brain Age, which I think was sort of the same thing in a way, but Layton frames it in an entertaining kind of like, I'm solving puzzles to solve the
and Layton doesn't have time limits on their puzzles. unlike Brain Age where they tell
Yeah,
you.
that's true. There's none.
And,
There's none, so there's no
gauge
time
how
pressure
old
at all.
You are.
You can sit there and stare at the puzzle as long as your DS or 3DS has battery.
You can just sit there and have no progress whatsoever of your
Yeah,
game.
and it's easy.
There
It's
was
very.
one time. There was one time where I spent like I think 20 minutes on a single puzzle in like the old DS games.
But it's very forgiving. Like if you fuck up, there's usually a reset button.
And
or
there's hint
button.
coins. Don't forget the hint
There's
coins.
hint coins, yeah. So if you
What are
if you're
those?
really, they're coins that you find as you go around. You can use them to get hints for the puzzles.
Yeah, you get 3
puzzle
hints
has about-
per puzzle.
Yeah,
And usually the third hint is basically giving you the answer.
yeah,
Of course.
more or less.
Well, that sounds pretty cool. I don't know. When I get a 3DS, maybe I'll get a Professor Layton. But this is all these kinds of games like the Professor Layton, the Phoenix Wright. These are all 3DS exclusive titles. I don't think I'll be seeing like a console version of those series.
Well, the Phoenix Wright 1 to 3 are on WiiWare and iOS.
Oh, really? iOS?
Yeah.
Oh, I can download
Yeah, on
it.
iOS. Also, Ghost Trick is on iOS, so play that.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'll check
Ghost
it out.
Trick is on iOS now, really?
Yeah, Ghost Trick is awesome, dude.
Is it expensive?
It is a good.
I'll
It
check
is a
that out.
good game.
What about you, Migs? What are you playing this week? What do you have something to say?
Nothing new.
How's your Dark Souls 2 progress?
I bought a ton of games on the flash sale from the flash sale last week,
Okay.
and also from the Golden Week sale, and have not played any of those games.
What did you get?
I got DMC HD. I got Armored Core 5. I got the Chrono Trigger.
Oh, that's a cool deal. I've actually always wanted to get a Chrono Cross.
I got Red Dead Redemption, which I haven't played yet. And I forgot. I got a ton of shit that I haven't played. Dark Souls.
Well, how far are you in Dark Souls? I'm done. I'm done with Dark Souls.
I haven't progressed very far. I'm usually just grinding. Like I clear an area of their enemies before I progress.
I
just killed the boss in the ghost ship.
Oh, the one with the two blades?
The two bodies.
Yeah.
One set of legs. Oh, those are easy though.
Did you dance with him with the pole?
No, he died
you can
before
dance
that.
with someone. In
Yeah,
Dark Souls?
I was.
You
like,
can pole dance in Dark Souls.
I technically
Wait a
was
minute.
with this boss because you can you can go around the pole, and whenever he attacks, you can use the pole as a defense, and his animations won't go through.
Okay, so it's not really pole dancing.
It's
It's breaking the game.
Yeah, I'm breaking the game in a sense. Not really dancing. It felt like dancing.
I did the same old thing: lock on, circle strafe, and attack while he's flailing about.
Yeah.
He died.
But Dark Souls 2, I finished it. It was satisfying. It's not the best last boss, just like in other Dark Souls or Souls games. Like I've experienced much harder bosses, like hours before. But it's definitely a cool game. I'm playing it in New Game Plus now. Whoever's playing New Game Plus, don't play in New Game Plus that first Covenant you find in Majula, because that's just murder. Like I have I don't know 2,000 life, and I'm losing half my life every time someone hits me. It's crazy.
Aside from Dark Souls 2 pala, I've been playing more Project Cross Zone, but I think it's come to a point where my hours in Project Cross Zone have exceeded Dark Souls 2.
Oh really? Well, how's the game after how many hours in are you now in Project X Zone? Is it being repetitive?
I think I'm like 23 hours in. No, it's on right now. It's just on sleep mode.
23
I was playing
hours?
before we started. Yeah, because like Will said, you just throw a lot of enemies at you. So a lot of rounds take like an hour at least.
Yeah, and sometimes you just sort of. It's like you're doing the same attacks over and over again.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can get a little
repetitive. That's what I'm always getting at. Because like how much more content can they dish out? As much as there's so much characters in this game.
And there's some rounds where you have all your characters on the field.
All?
All of them sometimes. There are missions where they split them up, but then there are some where you just have all their teams there. And I don't even have all the assists here. So.
That's actually pretty impressive. because the 3DS can manage that much people like in school. Then again, it's just sprites.
They're 2D sprites.
Yeah, then again,
yeah.
And it's actually not that impressive. But
And you end up going back to a lot of the same stages. It's just that, more enemies, maybe 3 to 4 bosses.
Yeah.
A lot of the enemies then are like really weak anyway, so it's just the bosses that you have.
Exactly. The bosses are the ones who have like tons of hit points and they hit like trucks. So
and they do like half damage to a single character.
Yep,
sometimes.
Yep. Project X.
I don't know. I'm still playing it. I like it. I don't know.
It's your cup of tea.
Have you gotten all the characters already, just out of curiosity, or are you still?
I think I'm at chapter 25. I don't think I just got Jury from Street Fighter 4.
Okay, you're still a ways to go then.
That's fine. It's the same thing in every like Super Robot Wars games. Or like 20 hours, you're not even at half of the game.
It's a lot of content. I'm surprised. Actually, with that kind of game, I'm actually pretty surprised.
Yeah, and like the references that they make to each other's games are all like super weirdly accurate.
Really?
Like even in the stage designs, like they're all reflect their respective games. It's pretty great. Like the Mega Man X stage is based off Cyber Peacock from X4, and you have your E-tanks there as treasure chests. You have your helmet capsule in the corner, which serves up in the story.
I remember while you were posting on Facebook, there's a stage that's actually House of the Dead. Is that?
Yeah, I was like, I know this fountain. I know that bridge. This is House of the Dead.
They actually use stuff. That's pretty cool. Like, as much as they don't use, they use some other games for like locations.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Great. It's really a crossover. If you like the crossover stuff, this is it.
That's it.
The combat is like the same, but I'm not getting bored. And the story is kind of bullshit, but it's fine. There are worse games.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's a game filled with like how many characters, and it's crazy how everybody's there. For this week, I'm still playing Dark Souls 2, but this is one I was able to get to play WildStar, an online game that's coming out in June. I played it like 2 weeks ago, but now it's free to play. Everybody can play. It's an open beta till the 18th. It's okay. I'm not too sure.
What kind of game is it?
It's an MMO. It's an MMORPG. It's from NCSoft, and it's pretty much a sci-fi universe, and it's giving me a whole Borderlands vibe. So it's
I've Borderlands vibe in terms of the look, or how does the gameplay?
How it's written, the humor, the characters, I guess the setting as well, because it's pretty much like two factions going into this one home world called the Nexus, and pretty much going into, entering it and then trying to uncover all the secrets. Because the story is pretty much in that universe, the creators of the universe itself just disappeared, and for some reason they were able to find the homeworld of that race, and so they're going to that planet called Nexus to figure out what happened, what's next, and all of a sudden, apparently there's so much mysteries going on in Nexus that could actually propel them to, I don't know, whatever heights. I don't know what the hell. But they need to figure something out in Nexus, so it's a whole new world they have to figure out. It's pretty cool with the fact because the combat's the only thing that's kind of driving me, aside from how it's been written. Because it's hilarious to actually read and hear the audio logs and all that.
But another friend of mine who's actually in the beta too has said good things regarding the combat system in the game.
Yeah, the combat.
And he's coming fresh off Elder Scrolls Online, so he's sort of in a similar position as you. And it's so much better, according to him.
Yeah. When I played Elder Scrolls on the beta, I was not impressed whatsoever. Here, I'm actually more impressed. I'm actually interested to actually know more, or actually consider purchasing it when it comes out in June 3, because it's a very vibrant world. I like the visuals of it. It looks It's all cartoony, 3D cartoony
How is
thing.
the payment? Is it going to be subscription or is it going? I think it's.
I'll get to that in a bit because they're actually doing something unique. It's still monthly, but they have an option, which I'll mention.
Is it like Eve where you get to pay with in-game like money?
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay, it's like Eve.
It's like Eve. Okay, I'll cover the subscription. There's still a monthly subscription. It's still $15 a month, but if you have enough gold, in-game gold, you can actually buy a thing called cred and actually consume that item and get like 30 days of subscription. So technically the more you play, you can actually buy your own subscription, which is kind of interesting. I'm not too sure that works.
How does gold factor into the game? Like, is it
Well, so
the reason why I think it worked with Eve is that gold was sort of the only reward that you would get for anything you did in that game. So here, how are they going to balance out the items and shit like that? I guess.
No, from what I understand is like if a player wants gold, they buy with real money cred, and so they get cred and they put that cred on the online market, and whoever buys it with in-game gold, you get in-game gold. So technically,
I see.
You know what I mean? Like if someone needs money for some armor or some mount, and has no time whatsoever to grind for the gold, they can use real money, post that cred item up for sale, and when someone buys it, he will get gold, and he'll be able to do whatever he wants to do with the gold. Whereas the other player who's bought the cred now has subscription, and that's the cycle they're trying to do, where you can get gold, and then people can get sub money, sub time, which is kind of interesting. But I just don't know, and the price of cred depends on the economy of how many people are buying, how many people are selling. So I don't know how much gold or how much grinding you'll need in order to technically play the game for free. That's a lot of hours, I'm sure. But that remains to be seen once it goes live.
Yeah, it remains to be seen, like how dedicated do you really need to be to the game to be able to like pay through your
play the game without really paying anything technically.
Yep.
I guess, well, I don't know if it's exactly like Eve, but it's definitely in the same concept, in the same direction, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know if I'm gonna pay monthly, but if it's not that easy to grind, if it's like every now and then I can play and then I can get the right amount of money to pay, maybe I'll consider it, but we'll see.
Because for me, like, it's still hard to beat like the value proposition of Guild Wars 2, which is pay once
free.
And
yeah,
really tough to beat that.
It's really tough to beat, and I'm so surprised like online games like Elder Scrolls Online or even WildStar are still doing this whole online monthly subscriptions, because you've seen how it's just hard. It's really hard to do.
I think it's just the suits talking. It's just the suits getting greedy. That's my feeling.
Yeah, like how Old Republic forced it, and now they have a free to play model. Like,
yeah, which is really butchered. Like, it's terrible.
Yeah, you're penalizing the player for going free technically.
Yeah, exactly.
But going back to WildStar, the reason why it's such an amazing game is because, an interesting game is, like what you said, it's the combat. Elder Scrolls, I didn't like it because it's so bland, and it's pretty much just I'd rather just play Skyrim, and I couldn't understand why I'd want to. WildStar, it's the combat, and it's pretty much all about movement. It's how do I describe this? There's no targeting, in a sense. You see an enemy, but then you'll have to aim, because when all your skills will have to technically go through those red marks in like most MMOs, where if you see a red circle, you have to dodge that, or
yeah.
All your skills have that. So technically, all your skills are pretty much skill shots, in a sense.
Okay.
So
that sort of sounds like Guild Wars in a weird way. Although there's still targeting in Guild Wars. Yeah,
target like in Guild Wars, if you shoot like with your like normal attack, it's automatically hitting your target, right? This one, if you're like a ranged character, you actually have to aim. Like if the guy's like all the way to the left, you have to make your character face all the way to the left and make sure he is in line with your targeting.
That's pretty cool.
So it's very heavy on skill shots. which again is a little bit of a problem here because I don't know how good the latency will be once the game goes live. So far it's okay, but I'm talking about like when everything is all good and then it's officially with that many people like bombarding the servers and everything. You might have a problem with the skill shots not hitting because of lag.
Well,
so
put it this way: you can play PlanetSide 2 from here. It's not it's not the fastest ping ever, but it's playable. So I think
But that's really.
But how twitchy do you feel like the gameplay is? Is it like as bad as say like a FPS? Like you have to be that kind of reactive to things, or is it a bit more relaxed?
It's not as relaxed as I hope because all the skills that I'm going through or the enemies that do skills, it's always a skill shot. There's always like a shadow that you have to avoid. So you always have to watch the ground because you can't like sit there and just press all the buttons that you need to press in order to kill the enemy. It's somewhat similar to Guild Wars 2, but it's much more extreme because it's just like all that red everywhere, really. And it's not the really common like the radius or square or what's that. They actually have like forks or triangles. They have like different shapes that you have to try to avoid the red shapes, which is pretty cool. The classes are actually also another cool addition or pull for people who are interested in WildStar. They actually have very unique classes. Like for one, they actually have a class called the Esper. And it's pretty much Green Lantern, in a sense. That class is pretty much Green Lantern.
You have a ring. You have a magic ring.
No, it's a guy. This class pretty much is. His weapon is a Psy blade, which is pretty much like a circular blade. And the Espers pretty much control that blade with their mind. So that's how like the blade's roaming around attacking whoever, and then you can just see the character just like putting his hands in his temple and just like doing the Professor X look.
It's like a Jedi.
It's pretty much like a Jedi, but more focused. That's what it looks like. It's pretty cool because like, and then you can see like illusions and then like blades coming out of nowhere. It's just like it's really like Green Lantern combined with Professor X, and it's a cool, it's a really interesting class. I think it's more of a damaging class. I think it's the mage class actually of WildStar. What else do they have? They also have like engineers who have like exoskeletons. They have exoskeletons and bots. They have a stalker, which is actually Wolverine because they have claws and they can just go stealthy. They also have medics and the basic warrior, but that warrior kind of has those pull attacks because he has an armed cannon and all that. But all of that, it's actually pretty interesting already, just by the combat and the classes. And
yeah. Well, it's a free open beta right now for the week. So by the time you're listening to this, you'll have
if you just want to check it out, you can do it right now.
Yeah, and well, this will be out on Tuesday, so you'll have about 3 to 4 days to check it out still. Is that correct? I think.
Yeah, that's correct. But take note though, I've only so far I've only up to level 10, and from what I experienced in terms of questing and going through the game, it's the traditional MMO. You go take a quest, turn in, get new ones, turn in. Like pretty much, I don't want to say WoW because it's not really WoW, but it's just like the traditional MMO.
Yeah, it's a theme park RPG, right?
Yeah, and then they have like events thanks to Guild Wars 2. Like there's a lot going on. So you guys check it out, WildStar. It's actually a very it's a good addition because we don't have that many sci-fi MMORPGs. We don't have that much because it's all like magic and.
Yeah, it's all fantasy based, right?
Yeah, it's mostly fantasy based. So this is a good addition to already a crowded genre, and I'm kind of interested. Yeah, I'm actually pretty interested in WildStar. You want to go on the news now?
Yeah, let's hit the news a bit.
Cover. Yeah.
We got a bit.
What do you want to hit first?
Let's start with this new Unreal announcement. I think that's pretty interesting. Unreal, Epic Games, rather, not Unreal. has announced a new Unreal Tournament game, which will be free to play, running off Unreal Engine 4, of course. What's interesting is this is going to be a free to play game. In the same vein, I think they're trying to aim for the same vein as Team Fortress 2. I could be wrong though. There hasn't been too many details yet. Just a quick announcement and some video.
Yeah, it's very well. It's not really big. It's more like they just pretty much threw out the concept of the new Unreal Tournament, which is pretty much free to play, and that the players have a say. I guess is that how they're saying it? Like,
yeah, which is why I'm thinking they're looking at like Team Fortress 2 as sort of their inspiration for all of this.
Yeah, I think it's like TF2 because like in the video I remember them saying it's not gonna have microtransactions. It's not gonna be free to play. It's just gonna be free. That's what I remember in the video.
But there won't be hats.
They're gonna have they're gonna have microtransactions, but it's gonna be all cosmetic if they go really TF2 style.
So there will be hats.
There will be hats,
but there are no pay gates.
I don't think pay gates will. Well, if they do it right, there shouldn't be any pay gates.
Well, I don't know because.
But do people want Unreal Tournament though?
That's the thing. Unreal Tournament is one of those nostalgic games that people look back on very fondly.
Yeah.
Because it was sort of the only thing that was around back in the 90s, right?
I'm not an Unreal Tournament player. I'm more of a Quake player.
Well, the thing is, if you look at Team Fortress now, Team Fortress actually takes a lot of inspiration from Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
And then it sort of just added classes and made it all funny and shit, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how this Unreal Tournament does now, because when was the last one released? I don't even remember. 2004 or something like that.
Possibly, so. Yeah, I think so. It's been a while, and like even if like when I heard that they were gonna make an announcement like in May 8th, I wasn't too excited because I'm not too sure what the franchise can bring with a.
What can it bring now at this point exactly? Yeah. Right, like maybe if it could be like an old school like deathmatch Quake style game. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool, but it won't move numbers for sure. It won't.
Well, it's free to play, so at the end of the day, like you never know, right? Like depends on how they handle things.
People are still playing TF2.
Yeah, exactly. Look at it that way.
People are still playing Counter-Strike, or even Quake. I'm sure people are playing Quake.
Unreal is like easier Quake.
Yeah, pretty much.
And actually, a bit of trivia for some people, the voices from Dota were originally from Unreal Tournament.
Oh, really?
That's like why they say the multi-kills.
Triple kill! That voice was originally from Unreal Tournament.
So this announcement, it's just simply, they're announcing the model, which is free to play, and that the players will be part of the development. Is that all they mentioned, or are we going to see an Unreal Tournament this year or next year?
I have a feeling they're gonna push it hard. But for now, that's more or less what they've said. But I'm fully expecting there to be tournaments, esports, sort of things, in the same vein as there are Counter-Strike tournaments now, and I think even Team Fortress clan tournaments at some occasions.
Although Team Fortress tournaments are actually fun to watch. It's very chaotic, but. It's funny, like when you watch a Team Fortress match, you know something's going down when the medic and the pyro starts running in.
The medic and the pyro.
Yeah, you know, like a plan is about. It has been engaged. Yeah, you know something is going on, and then when you see that run through the fucking tunnel, that's already like bottlenecked by all the bombardments. But yeah, Unreal Tournament, it's gonna have. We're gonna get a new one, and we'll just have to see if it's the right decision for the franchise. I'm not too sure about that yet, because I don't know. I'm not much of an Unreal person, so it's cool. Another bit of news. We're moving on. A little bit of Dark Souls 2 rumor. It's a rumor, I guess. But there's a thing called Project Beast, which is From Software's next game. And it's supposed to be a PS4 exclusive. And people are like screaming, "Oh, it's Dark Souls 2 on the PS4." but I doubt.
Is it confirmed that it's PS4?
Yeah, it says it's an exclusive PS4 project called Project Beast, and it really looks like a Dark Souls clone or cousin. And then a lot of people, even like our friend Arlie was saying it's Dark Souls 2. But
or Demon Souls 2. Yeah,
or Demon Souls 2, like a true successor to the first game.
Yeah. Or it could be even like a weird Monster Hunter / Demon Souls crossover, which would be kind of cool.
I think I want more I'm not too sure if I want more of the difficulty from Dark Souls or more of that kind of game. Because I like the challenge.
But it really looks like it. Like we haven't seen any actual gameplay from it, but just the look and the tone of the whole thing feels very Demon Soulish, Dark Souls.
Yeah, the one of the screenshots, the leaked image, is actually someone going through a fog or some portal. I mean, like, how Demon Souls can you get with that kind of picture? It's a PS4 exclusive DAO. I don't know what it's going to be. But From Software is definitely working on a next-gen title. Which I'm surprised, because they just had Dark Souls 2 released like this year for the PC and the consoles. And it's doing amazing. It's now at 1.2 million sold. And it came out like, what, a month? 2 months ago? And just in 2 months, they already sold 1 million. They already passed the 1 million mark. So on
what platform is that sales number from?
I think overall. I think it's overall. But I don't think. Well, I think it's mostly console because the PC version just came out like 2-3 weeks ago, and then now they have sales reports. So I think it's mostly console sales, which could say a lot. I'm hoping because if the Demon Souls or the Souls franchise can release out 1 million sold, we'll see more Demon Souls for sure. But hopefully it won't be a yearly thing. Because I
think it's really going to be called Beast Souls.
Nah.
Because Dark Souls was called Project Dark before.
Dark Souls was called Project Dark?
Yeah. And I think one of the FromSoft dudes kept tweeting since last year that he kept adding the word beast in all caps to all of his tweets. Like in the cheesiest way possible, so... They've been working on this for a while.
I'm sure they've been working for a while.
If it's going to be a Souls game, it needs to have the word Souls in it.
Beast Souls?
Beast Souls 2, the Darkening.
Demon Soul Beast.
Demons Beast Souls.
We're just putting words together. We're just putting words together.
We're just randomly putting shit
Yeah. But it makes sense, though, that they're actually working, because my question was when they announced Dark Souls 2, it wasn't going next-gen. Like... all of a sudden they're releasing Dark Souls 2, but it's not next gen. So it's it makes sense now that it's because they're working on
this in their pocket.
Yeah, they have something already on the works. They just want to release this out anyway. So
that seems to be a trend nowadays. Like they release a current gen while working on a next gen.
Yeah, I just hope they don't spend money on converting Dark Souls 2 to next gen. Like that's actually a waste of money if they do that. But yeah, From Software is still working on more shit. That's awesome. I like more of them Souls. What else we have here? Let's talk a little bit more of Drive Club, because they got a new update on... Because we have a release date. Drive Club is coming.
And there was a bit of a muck-up at some point, but it seems to be fixed now, right?
Yeah, well, it seems to be. They finally actually... Well, the first official... An article on it was Drive Club is definitely going to be free for PlayStation Plus, but there's going to be a thing called Drive Club PlayStation Plus Edition. And what that means is you're not getting from what I understand, you're not getting the full Drive Club full game. And if you want to get the full game, you have to upgrade. Purchase the upgrade version, which is, I think, maybe $20. What people was kind of bothered by this announcement was once your PS Plus subscription expires, you won't have access to Drive Club anymore. So people, for some reason, were going bonkers. But now, like literally, once we started this podcast, PlayStation's kind of reverted that decision. So Drive Club now, the Drive Club PlayStation Plus edition is now that if your PlayStation Plus subscription expires, you can still play Drive Club. But I don't think it's a big problem. Like I think what Miggy was mentioning, the before the cast that
before we started.
Yeah, it's like an online game anyway. I'm not too sure why people are like reacting, or maybe they're reacting to the idea that this is how it's gonna be in the future. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna have like, for example, if Uncharted 4 comes out, we'll have Uncharted 4 PlayStation Plus edition, where we're gonna get like the single player.
That Sony becomes all scumbaggy.
Yeah, I think that's
doing it for everything.
I think that's the main reaction to why they had to revert, maybe because Drive Club is technically a racing game that's mostly going to be enjoyed online. And for the fact that people kind of went weird on this announcement, it means that maybe if Sony does this like more on their exclusive titles, it could be a problem. Because if they start dividing their exclusive titles, like Uncharted 4 has, like, you get the single player experience for free, but multiplayer you have to be subscribed, or you buy the upgrade version of it or something like that. Is that a big problem to you, for example, Mix?
I don't know. The game is ass. It doesn't matter.
A what?
Well, the thing is,
if
like,
the game
you're
sucks, it doesn't matter.
No, well, I'm talking about if you like the game, and if they have, like, for example, you like the game, you want the game, and you get it for free in PSN Plus, but they have it. You have to pay an upgraded version, and if you stop your subscription, you don't have access to that content anymore.
Yeah, see, it's all about pricing in that case for me. Because if it's priced appropriately, then I can sort of live with that sort of arrangement. If it was explained properly, but as it was standing, essentially they were saying they weren't revealing all the details. I guess until this sort of came up.
Yeah, and
that's what I feel. So if it was priced to the point of like, okay, you're kind of just renting it until you quit paying PS Plus, that would have been fine. But if I'm paying full price for it, then I expect to own that game, you know. So that would be my problem with it if it was full price charge.
Well, you're pretty much complaining the fact that you're owning the $20 you've invested in a sense, because you can still buy Drive Club in full price as a normal game, but the fact that you get the free version anyway through PSN Plus, and then you're opted to pay additional just to get the full game, you know, released.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if it's much of an uproar for Drive Club. I don't think it's gonna be a great game anyway, to be honest. But I think just the idea of it in the future.
Well, if you're gonna have a PS4, like being subscribed to PS Plus is actually like a really good deal, because you get like the free games on any Sony platform you have.
But what about the people that only has a PS4? What about the people that only have a PS4? Because I'm sure they're...
Well, because since you require it naman to play online for like everything now on PS4, you'd most likely be subscribed to Plus anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's what's happening. Your Drive Club's definitely still free when it comes out for PSN Plus members, but you have to go through, that if you want to opt for an upgrade, or if you want to continue your subscription to play more Drive Club. It's GTA. I think it's like Gran Turismo, like in a more social aspect to it. I'm not too excited with Drive Club. What else we got here?
Well, it's the only racing game right now on the apart from NFS Rivals, which is more of an arcade racer. So,
Sony doesn't have a racing game at this point for PS4. They don't have a Gran Turismo because I don't know.
Not yet.
Yeah, they opted to release GT6 on the PS3, which is weird. What else we got here in terms of news? We have a lot for Nintendo, but we're gonna save it up for the second half.
Yeah, let's get one more out of the way, and then we can take a quick break.
Yeah, I want to do, like, since we're talking about Sony, you want to talk about the rumors. Let's start our E3 talk already by what's rumored to come out of the E3 conference, which
it's
pretty interesting.
It's interesting, but let's just stress again, these are just rumors.
Yeah,
so
what we're saying,
if shit doesn't happen as we say, then it's not our fault.
Yeah.
But this is just what's been going around the grapevine. So... this has actually been pretty detailed, so we'll see. I'll go down the list. Uncharted PS4 will be
there's
shown.
Gonna be a 3-minute trailer, which I think it's gonna happen. I think it's no brainer.
A new game from Media Molecule, who are the guys who made Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet.
Yeah, we don't know the name yet.
Little Big Planet 4. 3. Oh.
Maybe it's Tearaway 2.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Gran Turismo 6, which is already out for...
The definitive edition.
Yeah, well, definitive edition. But we'll have a repackaged title in the vein of... as a kind of a prologue to Gran Turismo 7, apparently.
Oh, really? Is that the rumor? Yeah.
That's the thing. They're going to kind of repackage GT6 to be the prologue of GT7 in a weird way.
Oh, that's so weird.
God of War 4 teaser, which I have no idea what they would do for that because I don't know. If you played God of War 3, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what happens.
We don't want to spoil it, but technically what we're saying is God of War 3 is pretty much the end in that timeline.
It's pretty much very final.
So if they have an interesting concept, if they do move forward in that story, God of War 4, then cool. But technically, it should be done. It should be done. They've done the prequel and everything.
I've heard rumors it might be just God of War Ascension, like upscaled to PS4.
What? No.
It's like pick the worst God of War to do it. Really.
Ascension was not even. It didn't do anything really in terms of like.
It had online. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. It had online. It was just a bit of a side story to.
Yeah, I wasn't too excited about that.
Mr. Kratos, the angriest man ever.
He smiled in Ascension, they say.
What?
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Something called Kill Strain, which is related to a Siphon Filter reboot, will be shown.
That's what I'm most excited for, because I love a Siphon Filter game.
That will be interesting, yeah, for sure.
Return of the Air Taser.
There will be a PS4 Wipeout that might be shown. I never really liked Wipeout, but I know it's got a following, so...
Zero Sony.
Here's a good one. Quantic Dreams has another trailer prepared. We have no idea.
Biggie's favorite studio.
David Cage.
Ready to man.
Hey, you guys don't. I didn't play. What's it called?
Beyond.
Yeah, I still have yet to play Beyond to give my 2 cents in the game.
Emotions, man, emotions.
But yeah, I'm sure Quantic Dreams definitely have something for E3. Huh?
David Cage should just make a game called Emotions, and just leave it at that.
He probably will.
So. He probably has it already banked. He just needs the money. Or the
All right, let's move on. The Order 1886 will get more stage time.
I'm pretty excited for that. Yeah.
Last year, but only a CG trailer, so now it should have a lot more to be shown. Ninja Theory has a PS4 exclusive, which is possibly a Heavenly Sword sequel, but nothing has been confirmed yet exactly what it could be.
Was it a famous exclusive though? I haven't played Heavenly Sword.
Heavenly Sword? Well. Yeah. I wouldn't say. Well, she made it to PlayStation All Stars, the character. So
and a lot made it to All Stars
now, right?
Yeah, there's a CG movie.
Getting a new CGI movie.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
I guess people
that doesn't mean
that
she's like important. Like I don't know. Like at this point, Ninja Theory, that the developer's more famous than that franchise, thanks to DMC and their other, like.
All right. So
anyway.
What else? We got a few more. Sony London will be there, which apparently they haven't shown anything for years, and now they're going to have something to show. So who knows what that is. Guerrilla Games going to bring an RPG.
Guerrilla Games is Killzone, right? The Killzone franchise.
Webs. I think that Resistance, isn't it?
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah.
Or is it Killzone? Well, one of the two.
One of the two. one of the two FPS titles.
Sucker Punch, Infamous Second Son DLC. So that there should be stuff there. And Project Beast, as was mentioned.
Yeah.
And The Last Guardian, which is kind of a long shot at this point. But
the fact that we mentioned Last Guardian on this news bit means that this is definitely a rumor.
Yeah.
Like, it's surely a rumor. So what we've just mentioned a while ago,
it's a rumor.
It most likely will not happen.
None of it is true.
None of it is true. We won't see Uncharted 4.
What we've mentioned just now are all the Sony exclusive stuff. The rumor also mentions that there will be some publishers on stage, including Ubisoft, EA, Konami, Capcom, Warner Brothers.
Squeenix, I'm sure, will show up.
Squeenix, Activision, and Take-Two. So I can guess already, Ubisoft will be showing Assassin's Creed.
Unity
Activision,
or was it?
yeah, the U.S. Assassin's Creed. Electronic Arts will probably show Battlefield or Titanfall or whatever.
No, Battlefront. We'll see Battlefront on PS4. I'm telling you that right now. Battlefront on PS4, and we'll see more gameplay on E3, EA.
Activision will just show Call of Duty, most likely. Warner Brothers is likely going to be showing Mortal Kombat
10,
yeah, and maybe Batman Arkham Knight, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're working on. Wait, yeah, that makes sense actually. Arkham Knight.
Square Enix will show Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy
15.
Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Action RPG, yay.
Yeah, Take-Two will show NBA 2K. What else do they do, actually, besides 2K?
Well, the big rumor about that is like they might have GTA 5.
GTA 5? Oh, okay. There's one.
I hope that does not. I hope that's not true, though. To be honest.
Konami, I have no idea what they can show. Sorry. They would be showing, obviously, Metal Gear.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Ground Zero is the new DLC. In July.
Ground Zeroes. And then Capcom, I'm expecting fighters from them. I don't think any...
no, Capcom's going to be showing... what's that? What's that stupid RPG? That free RPG game? I forgot about Deep Down. There you go.
Deep Down, that's true. Deep Down and probably Ultra Super Street Fighter 4. If they are going to bring that to PS4. I'm assuming they will, though.
Yeah.
So that's it for the rumors. Like, hopefully next week we can give you guys something for the Microsoft side. There's actually already been a couple things mentioned, but maybe we should save that for next week. So
we'll save it for next week. I think next week, because by next week we're gonna be like 2 weeks away from E3, and for those who don't know E3, that's literally where we'll see all the new games that will be showing up from the end of this year and next, and pretty much seeing how Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo will be, like what their plans are as they move forward with these new consoles. So E3 is really a big thing here for this year, because this will technically be the first E3 for next gen, like all next gen, with everybody present as well, because Nintendo's gonna be showing up. We're doing shit.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about Nintendo after the break, so let's take a break here.
Yeah, take a break. Next up we'll be talking, like, we have a lot to talk about. We're talking about, like, their sales, their releases, and, like, the thing that we've been wanting them to do, and they're finally doing it.
It's happening.
It's happening. Well, we'll talk about it in a bit, actually. We'll be back in a few seconds.
All right. Yeah. See you guys.
Nintendo!
And we're back with Nintendo.
Nintendo!
Reggie!
I have my arms up as if I'm in a roller coaster ride.
Your body is ready.
My body's not ready, but we're going to talk about more on Nintendo because, things happen every now and then.
Because they're in the news. Actually, it's not all bad, to be fair.
It's not all bad, but there's a lot of announcements coming from that corner. I think one, we'll start with something good.
Well, they recently announced the next in the Pokemon games, which will be remakes of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire called Pokemon Omega
Ruby.
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So it's weird, but I guess I'm not sure why, but people have been wanting a remake of Ruby and Sapphire.
I heard it's one of the best.
Yeah, I don't understand it though. I played Ruby and it's good, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's one of the people's favorite in the series, and
mine's red.
I don't know why because every Pokemon game is pretty much like the next
everyone's
one.
favorite. Yeah, depends on what you start with.
But this will be this is the one with Mudkips as a starter, right? I think.
Yeah, Mudkip. Yeah. What was that? Torchic, I think.
Yeah, Torchic and then Trico, I think, right?
Was it Trico? Or something else?
I don't know these Pokemon anymore.
Anyway, but yeah, so I'm assuming they're gonna include new Mega Evolutions for some newer Pokemon.
You think, or is it just a flat-out reboot, just in 3D?
No, I think
it's
they'll
gonna have like
add,
the new stuff. That's what
yeah,
Silver and Gold had.
They'll definitely include.
The Mega Evolution.
I think they'll include
Like
Mega
X and
Evolutions
Y.
though. Like it's people are going to expect that now after X and Y. You know,
Yeah,
like
and,
removing it seems.
In the Pokemon Origins OVA,
Yeah.
which is like the story of Red, he does Mega Evolution in the last episode.
Oh, that
Wait,
animation, that anime. Yeah.
With Charizard
Yeah.
or.
Yeah, with Mega Charizard, the X version. And he beats Mewtwo with it, fighting spirit and friendship.
Always.
No,
Always
but what I did like about that anime was the fight between Charizard and Blastoise. I thought that was badass.
Oh yeah, that was cool, man.
Was that the seismic toss?
That's
Like
fighting spirit.
the Charizard did a seismic toss to Blastoise?
Oh, he did a Megaton punch.
Oh.
Yeah,
Blastoise
and
like,
Blastoise just shrugged it off. It
Um,
was actually one of the cooler Pokemon fights. But anyways, yeah. So, new Pokemon. Do you think this is like you were asking me? Do you think this is going to be a yearly thing?
Yeah, I was wondering because is this breaking their usual cycle? Because like they release they keep the Pokemon franchise alive. Like they release every now and then. But is this really the first time they're going like last year X and Y just came out, and now they have a new one coming in.
Yeah, like
yes, it's a reboot, but it's still a new game.
Yeah, by them as well. It's not like some side thing.
I think, but the thing is, you have to keep in mind it feels soon because X and Y took a long time, and the reason X and Y took a long time was they had to 3D every Pokemon in the
whole
game.
New engine.
Yeah, and now that's sort of done. I guess it's they can turn
They
over
have the models
stuff.
already.
Yeah, they have all the models
Yeah.
as it is. So any minor tweaks they need to do, it's not a big deal.
I hope that in new Ruby Sapphire that you get to explore another region aside from just Hoenn.
I see.
Because like in Gold, you get to go back to Kanto.
Do you think they'll allow you to use the Poke Transporter to move your X and Y Pokemon over? Like
Probably. If they're gonna have like the same attack and stats data, that
Yeah.
can happen.
I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna happen, though.
And Pearl, like in Soul Silver and Heart Gold, I think you could do the same.
Well,
could trade.
new Pokemon is gonna sell like hotcakes.
Pokemon sells.
Always.
It creates paper out of thin air. I mean, paper. Money. Paper.
It prints money.
It prints money. There. That's what I was trying to say. God damn it.
And now that I know Miggy has a 3DS, I can get one, and he can get the other one, and then
you guys can be friends.
we can be friends and trade.
Ruby.
It's all that.
You
crap.
guys can be actual friends in real life, saying, "Hey, let's meet up." Oh no, wait, you can go do it online. Let's
We don't
not
need
meet
to
up.
meet up anymore.
Like
We can-
instead of doing the podcast or recording something, we just go to Will's house and play Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch you guys do a Pokemon battle, and then
you can comment on it. Like it'd be like really like the anime. You can comment on it.
Blastoise use Tail Whip.
Pokemon for evil.
I know.
I honestly think the Pokemon series is a perfect series to be a yearly thing, to be honest, because it's a kids. As much as we love Pokemon, because we grew up in it, it will forever be a kids franchise.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's designed for kids.
Yeah.
Having it as a yearly thing, I don't think that's good for any franchise.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It'll oversaturate it.
I do agree with Miggs. I mean, look at Call of Duty. Like, we're so sick of it already. Even though it still sells really well.
No, my point is, yes, it's oversaturated, but once the kids, like the batch of this generation of kids move forward as they grow up, the next one...
They're still going to play it, dude.
They're
Look at how
the
many
new one.
adults bought the X and Y.
Yeah.
It's true.
Nothing in Call of Duty, whereas...
But X and Y has the distinction of being the first... X and Y has the distinction of being the first 3DS Pokemon. And
the first GBA one.
Well, yeah, exactly. There you go. So, I mean, that's why I think a lot of people are fond of it, because it was like the start of the next handheld generation.
Yeah.
And X and Y also was the first to feature. I think Mega Evolution was a big addition to the whole series. So.
It was pretty cool, yeah. That's a cool addition.
And 3D movement, man.
Yeah, okay.
Finally.
3D movement and stuff.
Up, down, left, right only.
But in a way, I kind of miss if I play X and Y again, I still kind of miss the sprites, the Pokemon sprites, because I thought whoever did the sprite work for the older Pokemon games is just it's just amazing. Hats off to that guy.
Like all the beasts look like a Nidoran or a Nidoking.
No. I mean, like the actual sprite of the Pokemon itself. Like, are you talking about
badass
the icons
pictures?
No, the pictures are out.
They're too cute in 3D.
Or they just don't seem as intimidating in 3D. You know, like the thing about the.
Well, they weren't in an action pose, unlike in their sprite versions.
No, the thing also about the 3D of the 3DS is like it's not high resolution 3D textures. It's just very. The whole gimmick is that it pops out, right? But like the resolution of the 3D image itself is not that high. So in a way, sprites still look kind of better, if you ask me. But
I've played X and Y. Honestly, it's a great game, but I'm still nostalgic. I still like the old school because
sprites.
Yeah, because like the only thing, like yes, it's 3D. If they're moving a lot more and all that, but in all essence, it's still the same game. And I guess I just prefer the older school because the 3D just goes a long way nowadays. It's not really that big of a deal for me.
Well, anyway, so Migs, do you know which of these two are you gonna get? Yeah,
I'm gonna get Ruby because I played Ruby on the GBA.
Okay,
that's it. That's my only reason.
That means
Team
I have
Aqua can suck it.
That means I have to get Sapphire. Isn't it? Wait, isn't this the one with Team Aqua and Team Lava
Magma,
as well?
Yeah.
And Team Magma. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
they had that
we'll
kind
cover
of.
the Earth in land.
And this is the one that this is
So stupid.
Yeah, more Pokemon. If you get.
Oh, you know what they should do? They should include an automatic TPP in the Pokemon. You know, it should be like built into the game already.
Automatic TPP. What was that?
Like Twitch plays Pokemon.
Oh, God.
Hey, they're working on. I think they're working on Ruby right now.
No, they're on Platinum.
Oh, they're in Platinum. Okay. They're pretty good. They're pretty fast now, actually. They have clans. Anyway.
Social experiment.
A social experiment.
Yeah. But okay, so that's the first good news. Wait, I have another question. I don't want to move away from this. Why do you think they announced this now? Why couldn't they wait till E3? You know,
yeah,
why?
It's so weird how it just came out of nowhere.
No. For me, I think it's a great idea that they release it before E3 because I don't. If I'm Nintendo, I don't want to waste my time in E3 announcing a reboot. I'd rather.
Yeah, they need to talk about the new stuff.
Yeah, I gotta put content that would really drive people to get the Wii U, the 3DS.
Yeah, they need to talk about the new stuff for their dying console.
I do hope you're right there. You know, like I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah, I'm sure. I hope that this is I have so much content. I want to focus on these. This new Pokemon coming out this year is a reboot. This can come out right away to whet people's appetite. That's what I'm saying. Because if they have awesome exclusive titles, like maybe a new Zelda, a new Mario, a new whatever for the Wii, the 3DS, whatever, that's the priority. And then stuff like a reboot and whatever, we'll announce it first. You know, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I think.
I'm hoping you're correct there because that's what Nintendo needs to do is focus on the new stuff that's coming in. Technically, yes, this is a new product, the Pokemon game, but it is at the end of the day, as you said, a remake. So, yes, it's exciting because it's Pokemon, but it's not exciting in the same sense. This is what will save. This is what's going to get people excited about Nintendo again. You know.
No, that's not.
They need to figure
Pokemon Ruby will save the Wii U. This will save the Wii U.
Well, let's talk about the Wii U because that's the other piece of news that came out was Nintendo's fiscal results.
It's it has now profitable device. No,
it's not at all profitable.
in a perfect world.
In a perfect world, it is, but right now it's not. It's not even close to green.
It's terrible. It's just not selling at all. Even the 3DS is underperforming apparently, but not to the point, not to the level of the Wii U, of course.
Well, but the gist of the full fiscal report was pretty much they're losing They're losing by the billions at this point.
Yep, they're losing by the
Overall,
billions.
overall, we're talking about
Billions
Nintendo.
of yen.
Well, yeah, billions of yen.
That's still a lot of money, dude.
That's still, but that's not billions of dollars.
They're bankrupt if that happens. Billions of
dollars?
dollars is not even close. It's big when you say billions. As much as it's yen, I know how much yen is, but for a company like Nintendo to be at that point where a loss is not millions but billions means that the Wii U isn't shouldering what they were hoping it would shoulder, and that says a lot. That really says a lot. So far, the fiscal ended on March 31, and from based on these numbers, Nintendo 3DS is now at 43 million, with 162 software, so 162 million software sold, whereas the Wii U is at now 6 million, with 32 million software sold. Software like games and all that.
Right.
43 million for the 3DS, Wii U 6 million. For that's a big gap. And I guess Nintendo was hoping to be at the same par, like maybe Wii U is now at 10 million too. Because like right now, Wii U has been out for the longest time, and
the PS4 has overtaken it. The Xbox One has overtaken it.
Yeah, they've overtaken it already. And overall,
overall,
they've started. Like Wii U is more than a year. PS4 is not. I think they're about to hit the 6-month mark, as well as the Xbox.
Yeah,
and
more or
Xbox.
less.
Yeah.
And both Microsoft and Sony consoles have overshot the Wii U by a large margin already.
Yeah.
So, thankfully, Nintendo's still in an okay position as far as their money goes, because they made just so much money off the Wii and the original DS. So they can still afford to have these sort of losses. But it's getting to the point when they really need to turn this around, because it's not something that's sustainable for much not that much longer.
Because like the Wii U right now, it's at 6 million sold overall. Within the 12-month span, out of that 6 million, only 2.7 million's been sold. So in just a year, only 2 million sold. I mean, come on, that's for a console worldwide. That's like nothing technically in an overall sense. And they're getting a huge blow in this. I'm not too sure what they can do, but it's definitely whatever they're planning to turn this thing around. It has to be at E3. They have to. I think they're really banking on Smash Brothers.
The Reggie robot has to work.
Yeah, they have to. They're really banking on Smash Brothers. And like the people who are working on Smash Brothers I'm sure are feeling the pressure now, because it really looks like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. Maybe, I think Mario Kart 8 and possibly whatever comes. I
think they should bank more on Mario Kart than Smash Brothers, because Mario Kart is the more like casually accepted game.
Yeah, but Mario Kart's coming out. The Mario Kart 8 coming out at the end of the month. What they're worried about is the second half of 2014, which will be pretty much supported by Super Smash Brothers. Yeah, because Mario Kart 8 will be done after 3-4 months. As much as it's an amazing game, after 3 or 4 months, if it does really well, it needs a follow up, and that's Smash Brothers. And I hope that Nintendo has something that will support Smash Brothers with like an awesome 3DS game, like for example the Pokemon. That's a good start, but we need more. I guess they need more, like another exclusive, like an official date for Bayonetta 2 maybe, or something else. Like they need, like this year's E3 has to blow people away. They have to win this year. They have to get everybody's eye on Nintendo, even after Sony has done their press conference, even after everybody.
Even after Microsoft, they need to do something.
That's what they have to be on after E3, to the point that once everybody's done, people are talking about Nintendo, and then they will see now. Oh, okay, things might turn around, but that's if they can pull that off, if they can put everybody's head on their direction, which is a hard feat, to be honest. It's very hard. Nintendo biggest release is Pokemon X and Y. That's no surprise there. They have sold 12 million copies so far
of combined X and Y games.
Yeah, and followed by Animal Crossing, which apparently is a really famous game. Because Animal Crossing is now at 7.6 million. That's new.
Surprised Animal Crossing sold so well because that wasn't a game that I never found appealing at all.
I don't know. I don't understand that game. Is that a Sims version?
People like it. Sort of. Like it happens in real time, real world time, right? I don't know. Maybe it's the same reason why people keep playing Facebook games. Just go back to it.
But I mean, that brings us all to the good news. Is because of this dismal financial stuff, they've got information that Nintendo has finally decided to listen to us. Thank you, Iwata-san, for listening to our podcast.
Well, they did not fully listen to us, but they got the idea out now.
But they got the idea that they are going the route of Skylanders, and they are going to introduce their own line of electronic interactable toys for their games, which is great news, because that is going to sell like hotcakes, man, depending on how it's handled, though.
I don't know yet. Like, depends on how they handle it as well.
Yeah, because I think if they stick to just like Mario and Zelda and like if the Smash Brothers cast essentially, like I don't know how much that by itself would appeal. It's really when you get to the Pokemons, that's when like the money starts. You know, that's when the dollar sign appears in my eyes, right? That's where I see the big money.
The big news is that they have revealed that whole figurine platform. Like, it's pretty much Disney Infinity and Skylanders, but in Nintendo form. And so far, the versions of are only Mario games. Also,
well, we don't know. The model they showed, the toy they showed was Mario, but we don't know what the games are at all. They didn't show any of the games, right?
No, they didn't. They just said that the figures will be like Mario and others. If they start with Mario, cool.
The other thing I found interesting though was they said like the figures would work across multiple games. It wouldn't just be like this set of figures for this game, you know? Like
because I think they're gonna be releasing a peripheral, which is what do you mean? Can't they just use the Wii gamepad? No, it's called the Nintendo Figurine Platform, NFP.
Oh.
And that will come in conjunction. It can be used on the 3DS and the Wii U gamepad.
I see. So you can use it on your 3DS as well.
I think how it connects to your 3DS is via IR.
It's a device for the 3DS. I think the Wii U gamepad has that kind of feature built in. So I think just putting that on the Wii U gamepad, I think.
Maybe. So it'll be cross-compatible. Well, that's good. Yeah. See, if it's cross-compatible with 3DS and the Wii U, that's more hope for the Pokemon thing. You know?
Easier instead of buying the stupid USB portal like in Skylanders.
Yeah, so this peripheral is for the 3DS, and then the Wii U gamepad will have its own feature. I think it's going to be patched in, I think. Or maybe 3D.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I think it's universal in that sense. Cool. I just wish they start with Pokemon first, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gonna test out the kinks with these Nintendo figures, and then
that's true actually.
Yeah, true.
It's like they're gonna do it big. They have to do it right.
Because there's no game to support those figures. Like if they it would make sense now to put Pokemon because they have, for example, they have that stupid reboot coming out. They could tie in with that somehow.
Maybe.
And then maybe save like Mario and the other people when they have their games out. I don't know. Or maybe they can just use Mario now and and then tie it in with the old games, like the old crap recycled ones, like the Super Mario Wii U 2 or whatever.
We'll just have to wait and see how it incorporates with whatever it is they're gonna put out for this.
Yeah, but
it's like that's weird of it having not its own game. Because we haven't seen something like that yet in a while.
I'm sure it will have its own game. It's just like we don't know what it will be, what form it will take.
But the games for this kind of device or platform, they're going to announce it in E3. We'll hear about it on E3.
I hope so.
No, they already mentioned they're going to talk about games for this feature on E3. So that's one of the things that they're going to do. What they're going to announce though is we'll have to wait and see. That's cool, but you know, I think they're pretty much late for the party.
Well, better late than never, right?
Better late than never, because like Skylanders and like Disney Infinity is in like season 2 of their batch of toys and that.
Well, yes, we discussed Disney Infinity is moving on to the Marvel superheroes now.
Yeah.
And Skylanders is just been going and going, man. And knowing Activision, they're gonna keep milking that for what it's worth.
Yeah, and well, hopefully, what else do you think Nintendo's missing? Because okay, fine, like the fiscal result has been out, and we've talked about like countless times like what Nintendo has to do.
Yeah, I still think it's
the same thing. Cause
it's more or less. Well, like I think again, I'll just keep repeating it. Like they need to be less Japanocentric and think more internationally. Like that whole mess when they didn't want to localize those two RPG games, and then the fans had to like do this whole petition thing to get them.
I think
you know what I'm talking about?
Aren't they? Yeah, I know that the Operation Rainfall games.
Yeah.
Aren't they getting flack now for the Tomodachi Life thing where it doesn't have same-sex marriage or something like that?
Yeah, I've been reading about that too. That Tomodachi Life game, that weird
or the 3DS.
Yeah,
weird
which is supposed
3DS
to,
game.
well, it's The Sims basically, right?
But
Yeah.
it's getting heat because what?
It doesn't have same-sex marriage. I don't know. People are flipping out.
Are you serious? Oh well, that's a big thing actually right now. Yeah. But what? It's I don't know.
No,
it's a weird game to begin
like,
with, and I'm weirded out that people are bothered by the fact that they don't have same-sex marriage.
No, but that shows like how what's the word I'm looking for?
Loyal?
No, like how old school the Japanese think
Oh, okay, that's true.
in terms
Yeah,
of like their
I think
culture.
Nintendo is still in that stage where they're thinking like a traditional Japanese company.
Yeah, they're traditional.
And that's what they're suffering from. Like I keep saying that Reggie needs to be taking more decisions and making more
yeah, man, he became a
long-term
robot.
choices. Yeah, and I'm so happy Reggie is like awesome. I love him. Like as much as I like to make fun of him, he's one
so
of the
game.
Exactly. He's so game to
entertain.
do whatever. Just to be his body is always ready.
His body is literally always ready. Reggie is definitely an awesome guy. Like through the years, him doing the E3 press conference and him being like in the face of Nintendo for like a long time for North America and in other countries. It's pretty awesome. For me in Nintendo, like it's the same what I said in previous episodes, but now I think Nintendo has to use some of their chunk of what's left in their bank and start buying exclusives from third-party companies. Because they have too many, I think now when I'm seeing it, they have too many Japanese studios. Too old school.
Too old school studios, you mean?
Yeah, for example, go to Square Enix, buy Tomb Raider, and make Tomb Raider an exclusive title. Why not? You have now an Uncharted-ish game exclusive for the Wii U. You flocked the Tomb Raider community to one section. Why not? Because they have a lot of money and stuff like that. Because that's what they're lacking: games, exclusive games that would make people buy consoles. So what's the best way? Get exclusive franchises that are already known, that have a community, and flock them to one side. Like, I don't know, Tomb Raider or something that
I don't know. I think it's. Sorry to cut you off. I think it's the opposite because like all they have now are exclusive games.
Yeah, they don't really have.
They don't have anything else.
Oh no!
Like,
Then dumb it down. Then not exclusive, but third parties that are like, we'll give you money. Here's the thing. Please port your game to our console. But then again,
yeah, that's the problem they're having now.
Yeah, but then again,
because like they promised all these AAA games, and what do we get? Batman. That's been out for a year. That's it.
No, but I think it'd be different.
Know.
It'd be different because they have exclusive titles that are not Mario, not Zelda, because they have the same community all over again. It'd be pretty awesome to get like other communities on one side. Like, I don't know, not really.
Well,
maybe
I would like to see them bring back some of the games that worked really well.
Like
on
No More
Wii.
Heroes. Like they make another No More Heroes game.
Yeah, that like Trauma Center.
Yeah, or another Trauma Center. Like
or
create more
Cooking Mama.
Maybe they should buy Shenmue. Nobody owns that now.
That's true.
What would Shenmue do today? That's a stupid.
Yakuza, that's it.
You say Yakuza.
Well, Shenmue now is Yakuza, basically.
It is, and Shenmue is only big because we didn't have that many open world games. Now we're flooded with it. If you know what I mean. Like Shenmue is technically like It's like we didn't have we only had like what GTA, and then all of a sudden Shenmue shows up, and then now we're filled with Assassin's Creed.
Well,
and
I think the
Red.
point is though, like it's not that they're hurting for exclusives. They've got Bayonetta and they've got all the what do you call them? All the other Nintendo exclusives already. What they need is the third parties to come in. Like they need a Call of Duty like in there somewhere.
They need Frostbite.
Yeah, they don't even have Call of Duty. That's how bad it is.
Did they have Ghosts at least?
They have Ghosts.
Did they have Ghosts?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they have Ghosts. You know how bad it is on third party? The fact that that Ubisoft mentioned that, hey guys, we're done with all the consoles for Watch Dogs, but now we are now focused on the Wii U version, which will be a
release still making games for it.
At least they're still making a Wii U version,
like
right?
EA.
Yeah, but to the point that like they halt production of one console to focus on other consoles, meaning that's their priority. But yes, Watch Dogs is coming out on the Wii U still, but on a later date. So Watch Dogs is still
Dogs.
The D-Dogs. D-Day is
D-Dogs.
May 27th.
Dogs.
But well, final thoughts on Nintendo, since I think we're talking a bit. I think we're going around and around because
I
same
think,
thing already.
Well, I think I think it's great that they are finally going to do the toys. I think that's a fantastic move on their part.
Yeah, Reggie, listen. Reggie was actually here like 3 episodes ago. He messaged.
Yeah, or was that robot Reggie? We don't know.
He was wearing the Tomodachi Life mask.
Ah, that's right. The toy.
That's why it sounded weird. Yeah.
I think Pokemon is great. I'm happy for more Pokemon.
Have a Pokemon online game on the Wii U.
Yeah, but you see, we've been saying that
that'll
we
work.
need a Pokemon RPG on the Wii U.
You know, all our suggestion is just use Pokemon and just print money. That's all we're saying.
That's all we're saying. Pokemon prints money. Use it.
Mine is just have Platinum make more games for you. They're gonna do it for dirt cheap.
Make
Bayonetta
2.
ready. They're gonna have it ready in a year, and they're gonna do it cheap.
Dude, they have Platinum make Smash Brothers. You know, I know.
Have Platinum make Wonderful 101 too.
Except that, just leave Sakurai alone.
I do have Platinum do Pokemon. I don't know, a Pokemon fighter. Well, there is another rumor. Wait, I should mention that that there was a trademark filed recently.
Yeah.
The Pokemon Company trademarks Pokken Fighters.
Huh?
Wasn't that the leaked third-person like arena brawler?
That's what they're saying. We don't know what it is
I think
yet.
so.
They have detected trademarks for Pokken Fighters and Pokken Tournament in the U.S. So people are thinking, what this is
J-Stars for Pokemon.
This is relatively recent. Well, not that recent, but
More Pokemon talk. I don't know.
Yeah, but this was actually registered. Sorry, this was registered last year in the U.S., but only recently in Europe as well. So
there's a lot going on in the Pokemon franchise. Game Freaks is...
At least we know we're getting it in English.
Yeah, we're getting it in English.
I mean, I would be so happy if you had a Pokemon fighter where you can use like every single Pokemon there is, but you need to have captured them in like Pokemon X or Y or whatever before you can use them. You know?
Oh, that's a great tie-in if it's that one.
Something like that would be cool,
both.
right? But I mean, like just balancing out like 600 plus Pokemon, I don't know how that's going to be possible.
Or just make like another Pokemon Coliseum or something. Where
Yeah,
it has
even
its own
that would be
story,
fine.
then you import Pokemon from the handheld.
So in a nutshell, Nintendo, just
Pokemon.
focus on Pokemon. Nothing else.
Do Pokemon. We don't care about Mario. We don't care about.
And you will see yourself beating Sony and Microsoft without even a sweat.
Bring back a Star Fox and Metroid. And that'd be
Yeah,
nice.
while you're at it, you know, while you're swimming with the money thanks to Pokemon, you just make a Metroid game or a Star Fox game. Why not?
That's my final.
Make Star Fox do sports games.
Yeah, make Star
Mario.
Fox do a bowling game. I don't know.
Didn't Mario have like a golf game released recently?
Yeah, they had that. We didn't pay attention to it at all. Like it was released like I don't know, this month or last month.
And
This
like
week, I think.
the new Kirby game also came out on 3DS.
Yeah. Well, we didn't cover that. We're covering it now.
Yep.
Awesome. I'm done with Nintendo. I'm running out of things to say. I'm not saying I'm giving up. I just don't know what else to say because
at this point,
yeah, because all I gotta say is it's really up all the E3 shit. Like the E3 is literally sorry, it's like a couple of weeks away. They better at the end of every press conference, they better have everybody talking Nintendo. If not, they're gonna have a horrible loss again on their next fiscal year report, whatever. Because that's the only way I'm saying right now. They need all the heads to turn their way.
They need to learn how to make better trailers, and they need to learn how to be a little less honest. More. No, they need to learn how to be a little less honest with their like game reveals. Because
less honest.
Because you notice that every time they like show something, they explain everything about it just as they revealed it.
That's old school Japanese mentality. I think I'm not being with that, but that's them being old school, I guess.
Yeah, remember how bad the Skyward Sword reveal was?
Yeah, let's hold your hand all the way so you can understand it completely. And they still can't do it right.
They need to like keep stuff in secret a bit more, like hype it up.
They need to, yeah, because if they do it in detail, they'll never have any hype.
Nintendo is too nice.
It's too quiet. Iwata. Anyway,
Iwata's too respectful. Yeah.
Except to Reggie.
Let's move on Nintendo because I'm pretty excited to talk about one new game that has new gameplay. We kind of
let's move.
Yeah, we kind of forgot to mention in the first half, but I don't want to skip this one because it looks pretty awesome. It's not Sony, it's not Nintendo. We're finally shifting to Microsoft's
other exclusive that was sort of shown at the last year's E3, but for the first time we got a look at
a ton of gameplay now.
A lot of gameplay.
No, last year at E3 when they were announcing it, it was just a CG trailer. It just announced it's Sunset Overdrive, Insomniac Games is working on this CG trailer. People going through wires, going crazy. It looked a lot of fun. No gameplay footage. Now we have.
And it looks insane. It's like parkour.
What is your take on
shooting? Like infamous style platforming.
I don't know how else to explain it. Like it's
a more chaotic Infamous, in a sense.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it looks like a cartoon, a cartoonier, brighter, less gritty.
Saturday morning Infamous.
It's what happens when you put Infamous and Dead Rising in one room. And they get funky.
You shoot a bunch of drugs.
Yeah, and they do something very, but it's a combination of those two franchises because Dead Rising meaning all those crazy weapons and things that happen, and Insomniac and Infamous being how crazy their sandbox movement is. Like you can go through, like you slide through the electric wires and all that. Like just like how Cole moves technically.
Yeah, and I love the variety of guns they showed also. Like there's just some screwed up wacky guns. Like there's a little firecracker launcher, the teddy bear, grenade launcher. I mean, bomb launcher, and the bowling ball gun. And then you see that one scene where they're like little RC helicopters with like pistols taped to them.
Yeah, was it RC helicopters or like balloons?
I don't remember, but I thought it was both.
Yeah, it's like helicopters or balloons, like with guns attached to it, and the guns are just shooting. I am assuming they're shooting enemies, but they're like mini floating turrets, and it's very creative. I really like it. What is your take on it? And like, because visually, it looks really appealing. It looks like a possible Xbox One system seller because it looks really nice. For surprising,
yeah, it looks like a nice next-gen cartoon.
Yeah,
it's like the best way for me to describe it.
It actually, the story doesn't seem too serious. It seems pretty light, like energy drinks turn people to mutants. And you got to stop them.
Yeah, and
the factions sounded interesting. Like they had the Boy Scout / samurai guys, and then the live-action role player guys.
Yeah, that was funny. What was it called? What's their faction called? Like it's pretty much just a group of people that are always in role playing.
Yeah.
And then we have I think the girls like the Boy Scouts are like a samurai cult.
Yeah, they follow the code of the samurai. It's just funny, but that should be.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising and like I hope we see more out of like exclusives like this on Xbox because like if I see more awesome stuff for Sunset Overdrive, like this might be the title that might tip me over to Xbox One if ever I want to when I have.
We should go to 7-Eleven and buy Mountain Dew so we have a chance to win that Xbox One.
Oh yeah, thanks for segueing that.
Or that Magneto helmet.
Yeah, thanks for segueing that. Like, go ahead, Mix. We saw something like what, yesterday or
yeah.
If you're in the Philippines, you can win either a Magneto helmet or an Xbox One.
Yeah,
by drinking Mountain Dew.
I saw an ad on their like drink dispensers for their gulps, like the cup of gulp.
Yeah.
There was an ad there that it's a Mountain Dew thing, where I think if you buy a gulp or something, you get the chance to win either a replica Magneto helmet from the upcoming X-Men movie Days of Future Past, or an Xbox One. It's like the picture above is like, oh, you get a chance to win this Magneto helmet, ganyan. At the bottom, or an Xbox One, with a little tiny picture of an Xbox One.
So the Magneto helmet is actually the feature.
Yeah, that's the main prize. But you can also win an Xbox One.
But
I would rather. Well, geez, would you rather have the Xbox One or the?
I don't know. When Miggy was mentioning it a while ago before the cast, like we should talk about this, and then I don't know. The first thing that came in my mind was like, oh, I want that Magneto hat or helmet. Sorry.
I wanted to.
I don't know why. And then I just realized, wait, the other prize is an Xbox One. I mean,
the other prize is more practical, but like you still want that helmet.
Well, it's more practical for us, yeah.
How knows? The helmet might increase your gaming skill, since after the age of 26, you get the old man reflexes.
Give me powers. How long is this promo going to be going on? Did you get that at least?
I didn't read the whole thing, but probably.
You're too mesmerized by the Magneto helmet.
No, I just wanted Mountain Dew after that.
That's funny.
All right.
Well, that's happening in 7-Eleven. Sunset Overdrive is definitely an awesome game to look out for.
Looks pretty good.
It really looks like a awesome Xbox One.
Infamous guns.
Infamous with crazy Dead Rising 3 weapon guns. Yeah, for sure. The monsters look. I don't know. The monsters look. It's dull, bland.
It looks like a 90s commercial with like the bright primary colors and the weird style of their characters' clothing and whatever.
Yeah, but it's funny though. It's fine. Finally, we get something. Not Halo, not Gears of War. Something more unique, I think, in my head. I think that's about it for this cast. Am I missing anything out? Do you guys want to put any final thoughts before we close episode 31?
I'm happy Nintendo's doing something. Just keep it up. And I'm pretty sure, they're not...
They're doing something because they have to.
Yeah, but it's good that they're doing something. They're not just sitting on their ass waiting for, shit to happen.
Yeah, they're not lounging, for sure.
They're being proactive, and that's good. So keep it up, guys. Nintendo, keep it up, Reggie and Iwata and you guys. And hopefully if you keep it up long enough, I might even buy a Wii U at some point.
You're dreading, should I not support?
You have to, because Smash Bros. And Bayonetta 2...
Oh, God!
That's it.
It's just 2 games, though. How can I justify for 2 games?
Wonderful 101. Make it 3 games.
Okay, say 4 games that you'd like for the Wii U. Go.
Mario Kart.
The one?
Smash. Bayonetta. And, I can't even say Wonderful 101.
You just said it a while ago. Smash Brothers, I don't know.
Yeah, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, Bayonetta, and Wonderful 101. That's the 4 right there. For me.
If you add 2 more.
If we add 2 more, jeez.
What other games do they have? Wind Waker HD.
We're just stretching it already because it's anyway. That's
the promise of a new Metroid.
That Dynasty Warriors Zelda.
Oh, Warriors of Hyrule or something like that.
Hyrule,
yeah, that's happening. Yeah, that's happening. I don't know. I think I'll eventually get into.
Like Pikmin is not something.
No, not for me as well. Yeah. I don't like small aliens. Anyway, I think that's it for episode 31. Thanks for sticking around. I'm not too sure what we're planning for the next few episodes for May because we're definitely going to be ramping up, and we're going to be like heavily talking about E3 because E3 is happening on the first week of June, and oh my God, that's going to be a lot to talk about. I don't even know how we're going to do that.
We're going to have to go at one by, we're going to have a lot to talk about in June, but we'll figure it out, guys. We might have an extra long episode, or who knows.
We might have an extra episode. Well, I checked. Like, we're going to have an episode before E3 and an episode after E3. So, we'll have to figure that out. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you want to hear our previous episodes, you can check out on iTunes. Please subscribe, rate, comment if you have any concerns about this episode or any topics you'd like us to cover. You can also email us for any of those inquiries at the TMG podcast at gmail.com. We have the email in the bottom if you didn't get that. For our previous episodes, game reviews, and articles, you can check out on our website, www.toomuchgaming.com. That's 2 with number 2. For videos, YouTube, do check out Miggy's YouTube channel, TMG blog. So much videos, I don't even know. Like,
Yo, that man's videos in the works. I'm halfway through it.
Yeah, just go through it. So many. Anyway, like us from Facebook, Twitter. We have an episode every Tuesday. It's always up in the morning. This is actually an early cast.
Ready for your morning commute.
Yeah, I put it into a point that at least by 9 it should be out. Because I literally do the editing like early morning. Because I always forget to do it Monday night, and so it's always early morning. I'm doing the edit with like really hot coffee. But yeah, every Tuesday. Yeah, thanks for
Hit that morning. Listen to us talk about video games.
Yeah, every week.
Video
games every single week. And thanks for listening in. We'll have one more. No, actually 2 more for May before E3. So. Yeah, look out for that. And I think that's it. We're good?
Yep. See you guys. Bye.
I don't know why I'm waving, but yeah.
Okay.